We are buying a collection today, and by we, I mean you and I. That is that Yuka, of course, can participate in this investment as well and getting some of the most beautiful agates for your collection by heading right over to my website after you watch this video and grab some of the fantastic specimens from this collection and make them your own and be part of this wonderful adventure. Hello and welcome to the Agatebay YouTube channel. I'm Joshua, your favorite German agate dealer. I've been doing a few videos of this kind before, showing you a little bit behind the scenes of like how my business is operating and also like how some of my days are looking like. And today is a rather exciting day, not just because I'm sitting here at this beautiful lakefront in northern Germany, but also because I have something pretty exciting in my car. So we're just walking back to my car. I just had my breakfast, and I hope as you're watching the video, you are also enjoying a nice cup of coffee or maybe your own breakfast as well, depending on where you are watching and what time of day it is. But yeah, you guys have been enjoying the behind the scenes videos I'm taking. So today marks the day where I am looking at a large agate collection. The agate collection belongs to a couple who have been collecting for decades, for sure. They have been one of the agate collecting pioneers in Morocco, also discovering some of the agate rich areas there. But they haven't added a lot of pieces in the last maybe 5 to 10 years. So they decided that it's time for them to cope with the thought that they're getting rid of their collection. So this is what my car looks like right now. So okay, there's a couple things going on here, because after buying the collection I'm also doing a couple more video cutting sessions with my videographer Clem. So this is some of the material that we will be cutting there from the Denver shipment. These are all empty boxes, so I have about 200 boxes, white flats in my car where we will be putting the collection in. This is a different story here. These were blue lace agate rough stones that I had with me, so it was about an 8-hour trip to get here with like 2 little pit stops. And yeah, so about 200 of these white flats are in my car right now in different sizes. So the different agate sizes will fit into the boxes. There's a lot of preparation that goes into buying a collection, and in general always behind the scenes. I'm usually working, when I'm in Germany, probably a 60 to 70 hour week. This is something that you wouldn't even know how time consuming it is. The cost of material is probably just below $1,000 for all the boxes, plus 2,000 inlays, plus another about $1,000 in cost of labors. I think it was probably somewhere between 30 and 40 hours that it took to build all of these boxes. So there's a lot of things that go into it. Then of course the stay here at this beautiful hotel, the cost of fuel, I mean my own time also a little bit. But yeah, that's enough for behind the scenes for the moment. And I would say let's hop right into the collection and show you some of that. So I'm in the collection vault right now. They dedicated an entire room to their private collection and allowed me to take some videos and pictures before it's all gonna be boxed up. And I will be doing a little bit of a grading, of course, to have it all organized in those flats, just so I don't have to unpack everything and then get it organized back at home. So the entire day I will be spending on getting that done. And of course, this collection is decades old and there's thousands of memories with every single specimen here that has been cut. It's a lifetime of collecting, a little bit heartbreaking of course as well. I'm sure I can help bringing a lot of joy to new collections with these pieces. So they are definitely going to find some beautiful new collections to go into. And I think that's also what they appreciate, is that they go to a new place where they are appreciated. This particular collection that I'm buying now is holding about a little less than 2,000 pieces overall. They are all polished, which is already convenient, so I don't need to spend around like $10–15 a piece for the larger ones to get them polished. With 2,000 agates, that would add another $30,000 in polishing cost of nowadays efforts. So that is of course a big bonus already, but also with having 2,000 pieces, if I retailed every single piece and calculate a sales effort of $30 per piece, then it would add up to another, about $50,000 of expense in order to sell them. It's a full-time job for an entire employee of me to work for an entire year. So when I go through these collections, I make a pretty harsh grading on them. So I would say on the average collections, I am usually only taking about a third or a quarter of the entire collection to retail them. So the cost of sales is maybe only 15 to 20,000 in this case. And the remaining pieces I will be putting together as wholesale flats. I have about 2 or 3 dozen wholesale dealers that I'm working with a lot recently. They have physical stores or online stores or sell on Instagram, TikTok or their own websites. And that just helps me go through a lot more volume and also to be able to pay for some of the collection already with the help of other dealers. So I would say of this collection, I'm probably just taking the top 25% of the collection, so probably about 400 pieces that will make it into my retail selection. I would say it happens about a good dozen times every year that I get offered a collection or parts of a collection. And of course, not every collection is same good, the same size, same quality, but sometimes I also just get messages from people saying, I want to sell my collection, do you want to buy it? And of course I need a little bit more information on what your collection looks like, just so I have a little bit of an idea of what I can expect. So if you have a collection with agates that you are interested in selling, then I need at least a rough amount of pieces that are in the collection, at least a dozen pictures of the entire collection, plus some more detailed shots, and also an estimated value of what you would like to get for the collection, just to see if it even makes sense for me to think about it and, you know, go out and look at it. Sometimes we just couldn't come to an agreement because either the quality was not good enough for the turnout, or sometimes just the idea of the collector a little bit being too unreasonable, because of course I cannot buy a collection for the full retail price on today's market. I'm paying a 19% sales tax here in Germany, and I have 5 employees to pay. And for every single stone that I'm processing in my business here in Germany, I would calculate at least $30 cost in labor to get it sales ready. That includes taking the pictures, editing them, inventorizing them, and on the other hand later as well, also packing it, shipping it, bringing it to the post office, etc. So there's a lot of labor that goes into it. And also, of course, not every agate sells immediately. Some agates will be sitting for a month or a couple of months, or sometimes even years. And that is also something that has to be taken into account, is like how quickly will they sell. So all of these are factors I have to calculate when it comes into purchasing a collection. And I would say roughly, if you're spending good money for good agates, then your collection is probably worth a good amount of money as well. If you've been only buying agates for 20, 30, 50 and up to $100, then you can probably not expect to get $500,000 for your collection. It's just also a little bit reflective how much your collection is worth on how much you've been spending. I mean, there's rare occasions, for example, where very rare material has gotten a lot more valuable. I mean, talking, for example, about polyhedroid agates or ocean jasper. I mean, those are some exceptions. And if you bought just a ton of this material, then of course you're lucky. But in most cases, it reflects on what you have been buying. What I really like, of course, are those crazy parallax pieces. I mean, look at that, just insane. And those parallax pieces are probably also some that I will predominantly be offering at live shows on my YouTube channel. So throughout the next live shows on my YouTube channel, you will probably be able to see a lot of these specimens here. Actually, the percentage is a little higher of what I think is worth retailing compared to wholesaling. Also with selling them at live shows, of course, there's so much less labor and time that goes into selling them. I would say per live show it's probably about 25 hours in preparations and the aftermath of invoicing and packaging and shipping. So yeah, an 8-hour live show with me and my employees, that's about 16 hours, plus then the 25 hours of yeah, preparing and then doing the invoicing, wrapping everything up, etc. So in comparison, it's not an hour per piece that goes in the value of selling them, but probably more like 20 minutes. Even though it just goes so quickly during the live show, there is still yeah, a ton of effort that is in the aftermath. And here's something pretty cool. These are the blue lace agates from Namibia, and this is something I, until very recently, have never seen before. But here in this collection, they have a couple pieces with a complete banding, and I just ordered 200 kilos of this fully banded blue lace seam type material. Yeah, unfortunately not a lot of the material is usable for me, just because the selection hasn't been as good as I was hoping it would be. But I'm sure I will be cutting some more nice pieces of that type on my channel in probably a few months from now. This up here is the Moroccan section in the Middle Atlas Mountains, and there's really not a lot of pieces from this entire collection that I will be keeping for myself for some time. But one of them is absolutely going to be this specimen right here. I remember this piece from more than 10 years ago. I've been knowing the collecting couple, Grit and Peter, for probably since I was, I don't know, probably 15 years. So for more than half of my life now. And this is a piece I've always been admiring. It's one of the most crazy parallax pieces it's probably the most crazy parallax piece I've ever seen from the Moroccan location. So this is a piece I already told them 10 years ago that if they ever think about parting with it, that I'll be the first one to say, yeah, whatever, I'll pay any price and give it a new home. And so this pair will be staying with me at least for some time until I'm okay to pass it on. But most of the pieces, they will be going for sale. I would say, like I said, the percentage of lower quality pieces is actually not that high as I had it in my memory and could see it on pictures I took. So I would think probably at least half of the pieces you will be able to see at one point on my website or at live shows. This is a crazy good piece right here with the pseudomorph, the perfect triangle, some gorgeous pink Moroccan agates, like you've probably seen them in my YouTube videos before. This is a super interesting one here as well with the hematite pseudomorph inclusions. Yeah, some of them the polishing is not extremely good, so some of them I will probably also have to get repolished or just sell them at a discounted price. There's also a couple pieces, of course, that they've been getting from me. I remember cutting this agate right here probably about maybe, yeah, it's got to be a good 10 years ago that I cut this specimen, and there's a few more that I recognize that I've personally been cutting, but most of what they've been getting is from their frequent trips to Morocco by themselves. So what I'm taking aside for the live shows are the more interesting pieces with just a little more color intensity, better symmetry, or just some very interesting detail structures. I mean, look at this one here, just the perfect triangle with the pseudomorph here. Parallax pieces, of course. Oh my god, this is another exceptional specimen here. And I've been talking to Grit earlier, and there's like, to every single stone there is a story that they can tell about it. And I mean, that's yeah, it's been their entire collecting life. This is an absolutely exceptional piece from the Bulili location. I think they call it something with an eagle. And there's also a fair amount of pieces of which Dietrich Meyer had the second halves. Maybe I have try to point out those pieces just so I have a little bit better reference. Oh, this is one I also cut here. The agates actually appear a lot darker than they actually are. So a black background will always light up your agates a little bit better than a bright background. This is not one of my more favorite places here. This is from the Sidi Rahal location. This is from the area that's known as Berber agates in the United States. And I mean, there is some interesting pieces, but they are rather affordable and they're just, in my opinion, a little more repetitive in terms of their colorization. So I'm much more a fan of the agate finds from the Middle Atlas Mountains here, Auli, Keroshen, and of course the High Atlas Mountains near the town of Aguim and Tizreen. Here's a really special one that they called the chunky nose and Italy, because it has that country shape of Italy, and this is a matching pair. So just so interesting to see those halves shape out differently. These here are Druzy specimens from the Juchem quarry. Here you can see some fine goethite needles on top of them. This is probably something I will physically take to the Munich show to sell there, just because here in Germany there's of course the local appreciation for the calcite growth and the Druzy specimens from this specific locality. Then here we have some banded jaspers from Morocco. I mean, there's a very clear resemblance to Royal Imperial jasper, for example, or other Northern American jaspers. But these are from Morocco, so that is something very unique that you don't get to see very often. And if there's something that you are absolutely drooling over, take a couple screenshots actually. You can just send me a screenshot and email me with what you are desiring, and maybe we can close an off-market deal for some of these specimens. Some of these are of course pretty valuable, like the chilling duck back here, just swimming on its back. I think this is a very amazing specimen. These are from the Alhama location actually, which Grit and Peter co-discovered. So they have been the pioneers of finding the specimens from this location. Yeah, pretty incredible and colorful stuff. Some of the most beautiful yellow and orange specimens here from this location. They have 3 shelves full of these and just some very, very colorful material. But of course, in my opinion, the best piece is the chilling duck up here. And there's a couple more Druzy specimens here from Morocco. Oh my god. This has to be glued together. I can't imagine. This is natural. They do a lot of stuff in Morocco, so you always have to be careful with fossils as well. This is another spectacular piece right here. But yeah, a lot of beautiful specimens. Some German material over here as well. These are from the Black Forest region. The Lierbachtal is what it's called. Not a huge fan of these specimens, just because they have a relatively small agate portion in them, but also some beautiful pinks, for example, and with the light green matrix. They do look pretty cool. Most of these are fractured, but a lot of these pieces are decades old. Grit also told me a lot of the German material is actually from her father's collection. So we are talking 60, 70 years here, probably, that they have been collected in some cases. And yeah, that is a lot of history in this collection. Some spectacular specimens from St. Egidian as well. I mean, every collection usually in Germany holds some of those pieces. Yeah, they usually have great platelets in the banding. Also here it just appears a lot darker than they actually are. Here's one with a combination of smoky quartz and another small Druzy down there. Yeah, the German material will be easy for me to move within German collections. This shelf here I think is all Polish. So we have the Thunderix from Nowy Kościol and then a couple pieces here from the very desired locality of Puczki Goren. And then there's only one showcase left here, which I haven't really shown much. This is the German selection. Some of the famous pseudomorphs from Z's quarry. Further down here we have a lot more German agates from just random different localities. The famous pink Friesen agates. There's some exceptional pieces in here. But it's a very mixed shelf. I would say there are some pieces that I'll probably retail for $20 or $30 and others that will be in the higher hundreds. And I also realized I haven't been showing this section here, some exceptional Botswana agates. Here's one that I think I may have to keep for a little bit. I mean, look at this incredible parallax. You all know I'm a sucker for parallax, so I hope you don't mind that I will keep a couple of these parallax pieces for a little bit for myself. But of course, make sure to check out my live show just on Sunday this week, and you will probably see some of these pieces already up for sale. This is the Mexican area here, or well, we have some 2 dry head agates, then we have some Laguna Coelmido mix. This one up here is pretty spectacular, and a few Baker Ranch and different specimens as well as some Oregon Thunder eggs, actually some Kentucky agates as well. But I think this is the majority now, so it is one big showcase here, one big showcase here, 2 showcases over there, and then the showcase with German material. So almost 2 hours have passed and we barely got started, but the beginning is here. And I already did a little bit of a grading. Some of the more special pieces, for example, are some very fine parallax pieces. This one here is pretty exceptional, but also specimens that, for example, have like some of the metallic inclusions like in this one here, or some creative visibility things like this one Grit said. Maybe it has like the 2 clown shoes and then the kind of clown figure in this specimen right here, also with a beautiful purple and red, gorgeous floater specimen. Or this one here where she said it looks like a fat little dove, like the bird, just like hoarding the eggs below in the nest. So just some more creative pieces, which I think will be interesting for you guys to add to your collections. So these all will be pieces that will be sold during one of my live shows sooner or later. These are some of the pieces I will be putting on my website. And it's just a lot of work to get it all organized, but there is some slow progress. Packing up all the collection will probably just take all day today. Then I have another about 2.5 hour drive to get to Clemens, so we can get started with the video production on Monday. So it's Sunday today for me, and we will be making videos until Thursday afternoon. Then on Thursday early evening I stop by one of my polishers to pick up new inventory for the Munich show. Then I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday to prepare for the Munich show, and Sunday night the live show on my YouTube channel. And then on Monday I'm driving already to Munich to start setting up on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then it opens up for commercial customers and museums on Thursday and Friday, and is open to the public on Saturday and Sunday. Of course, I cannot get everything done with the collection here. There's just not enough time. Pricing also just takes a lot of time, because I really have to price every individual single piece. Also the ones that I'm selling in those wholesale flats that I've been talking about earlier. I price everything at fair retail value of today's market. The wholesale flats I am just cutting at half off, so the dealers don't have any extra work with it. They can just buy them and sell them as they are and make half of their money if they sell it at those suggested prices. I usually on average can probably price about 30 to 40 agates, I would say, in an hour on average. That is just due to the fact because I need to assess every single stone, look at it pretty close to see if I see any damages on the front or back side in the polishing. Then I need to think about what a fair market value is. I need to write it down, wait until the ink dries, then put it on, move on to the next agate. I would say on average it takes me probably about 2 minutes to price a stone. So for close to 2,000 agates, that would be about 60 hours of work, is that correct? And that's just not enough time I have for Munich. So for Munich and the live show, I will only have a small portion ready that will be able to go to new collections. So this is, like I said, a process that will take months to go through the collection, and of course much more time intensive is the actual inventorizing with taking the pictures, editing, and putting them up on the sales platforms of my website, eBay, Etsy, etc. It is 9:30 p.m. now, so it was just a little more than 10 hours for 4 people with a little bit on and off work to get it all organized and done. It was a lot of fun and a lot of memories, talking about the old times when we started collecting together. It was actually, I did my first foreign agate trip together with Peter and Grit to Morocco. So just a lot of memories with all of the pieces. I also made sure that there is going to be a lot affordable material that I will be able to offer at the live shows, starting from even just 10 euros, a lot in the price range of 20, 30, 40 euros, a lot of rare pieces from European locations that you just don't get to see that often in the US, and then of course some super high-end pieces that are just exceptional quality. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, seeing a little bit of this collection and the process of what goes behind it. And I'll catch up with you soon.